in and through these processes. While a lot of people want to be Navy SEALs, Army Rangers, it's really a tough recruiting process. We had, in the last 10 years, we put a lot of focus into recruiting. These type of movies inspire young kids to pursue these very challenging and demanding careers.
And one of the questions that also raises, and I'll bring this to you, Colonel, again, it is how these the role of these special operations forces is going to evolve as we deal with new challenges, not only the fight against Al-Qaeda in the Middle East, but the rise of China.
Right, and the rise of China, and how do we fit special operations? Because they've clearly earned a place in the American pantheon of what we are capable of doing around the world. In some ways, you know, we spend hundreds of billions of dollars on stealth airplanes and stealth submarines, but now there's satellites everywhere. We live in this ubiquitous era of satellites seeing everything, so we can't move airplanes, we can't move divisions of people overseas without being seen. But in some ways, the special operators are our stealth ground force, because they can be inserted into places that we care about, or difficult places to get into in a covert manner, in ways that won't be seen or detected.
And you've got, George, you've got someone from the Navy and the Marine Corps here. If we had someone from the Army here, they would be arguing that you need those conventional forces. You look at Korea. So that is a real different side of what we're talking about here. Special operations forces are so incredible and so important now, but there's a lot of argument right now that you still need conventional forces.
Right, and conventional forces are going to take the hit on the budget drawdowns. We're paying twice as much per soldier as we did 20 years ago, and so the natural tendency is to draw down the Marine Corps, draw down the Army, take big cuts.
And I guess one of the other dangers here, let me bring this to you, Admiral Harwood, and a specialist for the Council on Foreign Relations wrote about this, the emphasis on the tactics of the special operators. You risk getting sucked into a permanent game. She called it a permanent game of whack-a-mole. You go out after the bad guys, and you're not necessarily fitting into a larger strategy.
Well, I think the special operations community fits very well into that strategy, because it provides low-profile access, which then allows you to do that full range, be it go after individuals you need to capture or kill, or other missions. So it's low profile, it's a small footprint, but it gives you access into these areas you want to influence for a variety of purposes.
Martha Rad, it's a world dominated by men. So far, is there a future for women in the Special Operations Forces?
Well, I think that has really evolved. I mean, I've asked some Navy SEALs, including that one right there, whether women fit in. To me, and I think Steve Ganyard lived through this
as a fighter pilot.
As a fighter pilot, when they were integrating women into combat aviation, and now you've got a community that is more welcoming. But there are physical tests that go along with this. I sort of look at it as, and the people I've talked to, as a tool belt. Look, there are hammers in that tool belt, there are screwdrivers in that tool belt, there are all kinds of things in that tool belt, and if you put them all together, they work really well together. And I think women, and I think most of the special operations senior leadership who I have talked to feel it's time.
Great.
Yeah,
I would tell you, women have been a part of the special operations community as long as I have. They're not SEALs, they're not Rangers, but they've been part of the community and an integral part of it, and have enabled us to do what we need to do. This last bastion of wearing a trident or becoming a designated Ranger still needs to be worked. I know the Special Operations community, Admiral McRaven, is looking at this very closely.
I think it's going to be very important, though, that if we do this, we have to have a single bar. There can't be standards for women in the most physically demanding special ops jobs. If the bar is set to be this to be a SEAL today, that's going to be the bar that everybody goes out and meets.
That's going to have to be the last word today. Thank you all very much. You can see more with Mark Wahlberg and an excerpt from Lone Survivor at abcnews.com/thisweek. We'll be right back.